One of the problems with public perception of van drivers is caused by the very fact that vans aren't regulated in the same way as vehicles above 3.5 tonnes are. They don't have to have periodic inspections apart from the annual MOT, so you can have a van on the road for 3 years before it even has to have a service. People are very lax on van servicing. They don't treat them in the same way as HGVs. They're not perceived as a company asset in the same way as HGVs. So I think there is need for greater regulation, simply to get more vans in the net. There are lots of professional companies out there who do manage their van fleets in the same way as they do their HGV fleets, but there are also a lot of companies that just run them into the ground. No safety considerations, no safety checks, even on basic things like whether the lights work. So there is a lot more that could be done, and I do think that there needs to be some scheme, either mileage based or fleet size based, that would encourage better standards of service amongst vans.
Vans aren't regulated in the same way as vehicles above 3.5 tonnes, and that's probably absolutely right. The truck legislation is there for a reason. They're big vehicles with high levels of risk and high levels of cost with them. Vans can be operated to sensible, proper standards, but they don't need more legislation. The legislation that's in place on vans is perfectly adequate.
Vans aren't regulated obviously in the same way as HGVs or vehicles that are recorded on an O licence. And I think as a company we have to take responsibility to ensure that we have the same processes in place, to ensure that we are compliant with road legislation and also health and safety legislation, which is something that we don't always think about with fleet, but is obviously very, very important. I wish there was more regulation around smaller vehicles, because it's always easier to control vehicles when there is legislation to pin things on. But I think as a responsible company, there's absolutely no reason that you can't ensure the compliance of your fleet.